Female.
Yes, indeed. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Retro Philosophy Show. Keep it locked right where you got it. Don't you dare touch that dial. We're going to get cracking here in just a little bit. So thank you for joining the broadcast this morning. Make sure you go over to YouTube, like, and subscribe. It's your girl, Lottie Dottie. I'm in the building.
It's the Retro Philosophy Show. Go on and tell everybody you know. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lottie Dottie, and I'm in the building hanging out with Retro. Keep it locked, and don't you dare touch that dial.
Yo, what up? This is Marvin Gibson, aka Big Gip, and you are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show.
Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man Retro stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Big Cell. You still keeping it 100.
Hey now, this is the Mileage Bully, the Moto Mob CEO, home of the Moto Mob where legends are made. You are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what to do. Press play.
What's up, everybody? This is your man Pablo Frescobar on the Retro Philosophy Podcast, talking about my newly published book, Courage Unveiled, Navigating the Battlefield Within. And you get a call from your homie saying, yo, what you up to? Where you at? Where's your location? I'm on the bike. And he said, yo, stay put. I'm coming to meet you. I'm on my bike. That's what I'm talking about, man. We out here getting miles and smiles. What's going on with you, man? Yes, sir.
And as I'm riding, I got a text from my man, you know who, the man of God, Mr. Retro. He said, slow down. So I'm gonna put my rain gear on. Speak of the devil. I ain't gonna say speak of the devil. Speak of the man above. Here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Boy. I see he been practicing. Boy, you can tell when you've been practicing. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. And as I'm riding, I got a text.
So you're a philosopher? Yes.
Good evening, good morning, good night, good day. It's your boy Retro. Thank you for pressing play.
Yo, what's up, everybody, including Lottie Dottie? You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Retro. Today, this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice. And I think I'm going to be glad in it. Yeah, I didn't come to the conclusion. It's too late. I'm already happy. I'm already glad. So it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be, man. How are you guys doing? So much issues getting started this morning. It was like I was that close to just giving up and just going about my day, man. I mean, like real talk, I really was. We got it worked out. Don't know if it was anything I did. I really don't think it was anything I did. It is what it is. And so it is in life, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. Sometimes things are just beyond our control. And I want to warn someone. I want to encourage someone. I want to, what's another word I can throw in there, guys? I want to admonish someone. I want to enlighten someone. Look at here, man. It ain't your fault. It is not your fault. Sometimes we walk around here carrying weight just because we were able to lift it. Listen to me, guys. I know you were able to pick it up, but that doesn't mean just because you were able to pick it up, you're supposed to carry it around. Because what you will find out is that after a while and over time, it's going to get way more difficult for you to bear it. Okay, so I want to challenge somebody right now to just drop it right where you are. Just drop it. Just drop it. It's not yours to carry, so you must just simply drop it. So yesterday, I understand that there were some people in different parts of the country who had no Facebook. And as I was going live, I was trying to be so inspirational and so encouraging. And I said, good Lord, nobody's tuning on. I guess I'm not saying anything worth saying. But then later on, I was told that, somebody who told me that in their era, they had no Facebook. They weren't able to log on. And so who knows what's going on, man. But I tell you, man, this interweb and this social stuff, oh gosh, it's gonna get us one of these days, guys. We're so reliant on the internet for everything. Y'all remember back in the day before you got ready to take a trip, my daddy, he would go down to AAA and they would plan out his trip. They would give him these little maps and instructions and everything for the trip. That's what we used to do back in the day before we went on family trips, because most of the time we drove everywhere we went. Daddy wasn't sitting on a whole bunch of gazillions of dollars. So if we were gonna go anywhere, we'd pile up in that old heavy Chevy, that van of his, and we'd head 95 south, 91 to 95, and we'd keep on going south. And but my dad would have, I don't know if they called them quick trips or whatever, but I could literally remember my dad stopping by AAA days before the trip, and he would get those little booklets, and they would have the little maps and everything. But nowadays, hey, good morning, Ruffin, how you doing, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. Let's make some noise for Mr. No Validation Needed at all. I love that right there. No validation needed at all. If you are reliant on someone's validation for your value, then you will be very, very upset and disappointed. So stop seeking the validation of people who don't have the ability to validate you. Ooh, I'm just going to leave that word sitting. But I was saying we would get these quick trip things, and but nowadays we are so reliant, we are so dependent upon, the GPS. So what happens? And I'm gonna try not to dig into this too much, but what would happen if someone were to hack into your global positioning service and give you wrong instructions? Where would you end up? Yeah, all because you were waiting for their instruction for the next turn. And it has made us lazy individuals. We no longer familiarize ourselves with routes. We just wait till GPS tells us to turn. And 2.3 miles, get ready to turn left. I know your GPS don't sound like that. I had a GPS, a TomTom, and it had a Jamaican brother giving the instructions. Oh man, it was funny. It was funny, man. But real talk, we're so dependent upon these electrical devices to tell us everything. And just think about it. If someone were to hack into your global positioning service and give you wrong instructions, with that said and done, how many people have hacked into our godly positioning sensitivity and has given us the wrong instructions? Paul says to the church in Galatia, he called them foolish. He said, "Oh, foolish Galatians, who have bewitched you?" In other words, who has hacked into your godly positioning system and turned you astray, caused you to go back against what you've already been taught. And look at here, I'm talking to you this morning. I'm looking into your orbital socket, okay? And I want to tell you, I want to tell you, you and you. But real talk, I want to tell you, that your mama raised you better than that. You ever heard the saying, your mama would turn over in her grave if she saw you doing what you doing, if she heard you saying what you saying, if she saw you going where you going? Your granddaddy would turn over in his grave because they taught you better than that. They suffered, bled, and died in many situations to ensure that we had a better way to go. And here we are, going astray, doing stuff that we know they wouldn't approve of, doing stuff that we know ain't right. Just because everybody else is doing it don't mean that it's right. I know I was supposed to get up here and talk to you about sometimes you got to slow down, but real story, true story. That's exactly where you are right. Slow down. You're going too fast. You said, well, I'm keeping up with the traffic. Just because you're keeping up with the traffic doesn't mean you won't get a speeding ticket if Popo pull you over. You can't tell the police, well, I was just maintaining the flow of traffic. Well, I caught you and you were going over the speed limit. So look at your neighbor. I know we ain't at church, but look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, slow down. Matter of fact, don't bother your neighbor. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, say, slow down. Okay. Yeah, no, for real though, we got to slow down, because we will mess around, and just because everybody else is doing it, we do it. And, you know, I hate to keep on sounding motorcycle-y, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, some of the first advice and best advice that I got upon entering the motorcycle set, the motorcycle community, because it was years that I rode and not even interacted with the motorcycle community. I mean, true story. That's my story, and it's true. I bought my first motorcycle when I was in high school. It was a EX500. Couldn't tell me nothing. Pearl white with a nice red stripe down the side. Had some loud headers on it, man. And my wife, girlfriend at the time, she would throw that sexy leg over that thing. And after cheerleading practice, yeah, and I rev that thing up and we take off. I couldn't tell me nothing, man. Riding around town, I did a lot of things on that motorcycle. Some stuff I'm not going to tell you. But anyway, I've been riding for a long time, and I've never been a ground pounder, especially in the early days. I just had a motorcycle and I just rode, you know, and I was pretty good on it. But what's my point? My point is, when I first became acquainted with the motorcycle community, and upon becoming acquainted with the motorcycle community, was when my interest for Yonda began to awaken. You know, prior to that, I was living in Massachusetts at the time. I had rode to New Haven. That was about the furthest I rode. What's that, about what, hour 90 minutes, something like that? Hour 90 minutes, about an hour and a half, 2 hours almost, give or take, I believe it was, to New Haven. And that, of course, is no Yonda, you know, just a hop, skip, and a jump. But that was the extent of my long distance riding in my early years. But anyway, once I become acquainted with the motorcycle community and start even having a desire, an inkling to go Yonda, to get some miles, and it was told to me, ride your ride. As a matter of fact, we were on our way to the Tail of the Dragon. And that was my first experience at the Tail of the Dragon. And they said, hey, you know, if we get separated, just ride your ride. You know, we'll be at the top when you get there. You know, of course, I didn't get left because vroom vroom vroom. I do my thing. You know, but anyway, they kept on saying. They said it several times. You know, ride your ride. And that is some of the best advice we can get in life, and it is applicable beyond just the motorcycle. Ride your ride on the job, ride your ride in the church, ride your ride in the home, ride your ride everywhere you go. And what that means is you do what you can do, how you can do what you can do. And sometimes you have to slow down in order to ride your ride. Check this out. And again, this is applicable beyond just motorcycle. I often tell people that you work on perfection first, and then the speed. You can always speed up after you perfect a thing, or maybe I should say after you master, because if we say perfect, then it would leave the ideology that there's no more room for growth because it's already perfect. So you can master something and continue to get better still. So I don't know, tomato, but the fact of the matter is, get comfortable with what you're doing first. Become confident in what you're doing first, and then you can always speed up later. What happens so often is we get the gist of it, And then we focus so quickly on speeding up at what we're doing. And so what we do is we do real fast something that's incorrect. Y'all not hearing me? But when you really learn to do the thing, cutting hair, for instance, that was my first love, if you will. And so first love, second business. Yeah, but nevertheless, I started out at 12 years old cutting hair, okay? And I quickly gained, well, let me be careful here because I always try to keep it a buck with you. I began to build confidence in what I was doing. But there was still much room for growth, okay? There were a lot of things that took me time to master. Case in point, facial hairs, doing beards and stuff. I would cut their hair and then spin them around, show them the mirror, pull the cape off, hope that they wouldn't ask me to do their beard. Because at the time, again, I'm a little kid. I don't know nothing about beards. I don't have one myself. So I hadn't built up enough experience to be confident in the procedure. But over time, beards and lineups became my specialty, became my, I could put a line on you and like nobody's business, and there are some people that use enhancements, and I don't have anything against enhancements. I will use them from time to time as well. But to stick to the point, I would take a long time to cut a customer's hair, right? Because I wanted to make sure everything was right, okay? Once I got to a point where I knew what I was doing was right, the speed just eventually came with experience. So if you try to start out being a fast barber and not a good barber, then you'll be a fast barber that's not putting out good results. Now, apply that to your situation and to your life, okay, and see if it helps. But what I'm trying to say is, slow down, okay, slow it down. And I'm not saying that you have to come to a standstill, but sometimes in this thing called life, we got to slow down. When you are going fast, I remember when I did my first iron butt, right? I left from Statesville. Was it Statesville or was I living in Mooresville at the time? No, I was living in Troutman, I believe. But nevertheless, I left from my home and I headed down to Miami. Miami was the destination, and then I had to turn around and go back to Tampa because that was going to be my final destination. Okay, so anyway, so I took and I left home and I'm headed down there. And with the iron butt, you have to do it within a certain amount of time, within 24 hours. You got to do at least 1,000 miles within 24 hours. And so, with that said and done, normally you're on it, because you're in a race against this clock. And so after I completed it, I then went on to do about maybe 2 or 3 more. And I remember after about the second one, I began to take some mental notes. And in those mental notes were simply this: sometimes the faster you go, the easier it is to miss things that you really need to see. And I'm not just talking about the scenery, but you're speeding, you're breaking the speed limit. That is against the law, right? And so sometimes the faster you go, the easier it is not to see Popo over there in that corner, And so sometimes you need to slow down so that you can better focus on some safety things. Because wherever you're going, you'll get there sooner or later. But sometimes the faster you go, the faster are your chances not to make it where you're trying to go. It's your boy Retro with you on this morning, man. I ain't gonna talk your head off on this morning, but look at it, man. It's time to slow down. Nature, and when I talk about nature, I'm talking about the process of life, will slow you down. Oh yeah, when we were younger, we jump out the bed right into our shoes, and they already be laced up. Now you gotta contemplate getting up out the bed, and you're gonna sit on the side of the bed, and then oh my, it's a process. I used to jump into my socks. Now I got to sit down and we got to have a conversation. My right leg with my left leg and my knee and my back, and we all got to have a consensus to lift that leg high enough and not throw your back out. I'm just saying. Life itself will slow us down as we get older, and so It's time for some of us to slow down. You can't go the same places you used to go. You can't do the things you used to do, and it's okay to be okay with that. It's a part of the process of life. Speaking of slowing down and enjoying the scenery and things of that nature, Mission 448. Yes, indeed. Let's make some noise. I tell you, I'm excited, and I am getting myself in gear because we are starting to get some interest, and for which we are grateful. We've got some interest for, as a matter of fact, we've got some people launching out of Virginia to do the VA Four Corners. Maxwell, ladies and gentlemen, is in the building. God bless you, sir. Thank you for joining the broadcast on this here morning. God is good. God is great. Amen. Every single day. And so we are excited about that, man. I'm going to be launching out next month. I got a son, my son, he's getting married on this month, the end of this month. So there's a whole lot of stuff that we've got going on as a family. We got a lot of family gearing up to come in from out of town. So we'll be accommodating quite a few people here at the house. And so we're making some adjustments for that. So the rest of this month, I'm really just going to be in chill mode. Well, I'm not going to be in chill mode, but as far as that motorcycle, I'm going to hop on her in a little bit and we're going to go run some errands and things like that. But I won't be doing any major riding. But come next month, I will be getting out and I'll be knocking out a few of these four corners as well. I'm interested to know who's going to be the first to complete the four corners of the lower 48 states. And again, I don't know if someone has already accomplished such a feat. If so, I'm unaware. So until I'm made aware, I'm going to go with the fact that it hasn't been done yet. And even if it hasn't been done according to Mission 448. So in that regards, we're still looking for the first. And so we're excited about this thing, man, because it's time to get out and ride. And, you know, when I first started riding motorcycles, you know, I was into the crotch rockets, you know, and couldn't tell me nothing. I remember I had that little pearl blue Ninja 600, you know. Oh boy, couldn't tell me nothing. It was chromed out and everything. It was a beautiful bike until the RAV4 decided to park on top of it. Yeah, that was a day, man. I'll never forget that day. But anyway, you know, I'd get on that thing, man, and I just ride. I'd ride. And but you know what? We graduate, we elevate, we move on from the crotch rockets, as many of you guys did, and you get onto the cruisers. And part of the reason for getting on the cruiser, and of course everybody's situation is different, so you guys chime in and correct me if I am wrong, but for the most part, we get onto these cruisers because we are now beginning to embrace the thought of slowing down. Now I know you wouldn't put that big motor on it because, you know, just in case you need it, you want to have it, and all this, that, and the other. But for the most part, we don't get onto the cruisers. I was going to say to race, but some of y'all do. But anyway, we get on the cruisers to do just that, to cruise, to have a more comfortable ride. And I don't care what nobody say. The slower you go, the more comfortable your ride is. Again, you're doing that iron butter. You're zooming. You're racing against the time, and you're looking for the popo. And at the same time, you're looking out for roadkill, especially you riding at night, and you're moving so fast, and so it adds more pressure. It adds more tenseness, if you will, tension, I should say, to the ride and ultimately to the experience. And so when you get to your destination, you say, "Yes, I finished that iron butt." Your body's gonna feel it a whole lot differently than it would have if you'd have just hit 10 over the speed limit, hit the cruise control, put them feet up on the highway peg that they're made for, and just enjoy the ride. Check this out. You ever been riding down the road and just chilling, and you see something that wasn't on your agenda, and you say, "Ooh, I need to go check that out." Because you are chilling and you're not rushing, you have time to downshift, grab that clutch, downshift, apply the brake, you know, in my case, a little bit of the front and rear, depending on how fast I'm going and how close the turn is on me, and just break that thing down, get over and go enjoy it. But if you're going too fast, you're going to blow right by and say, "Daggone, I'll catch it the next time," and never catch it the next time. Chances are, you know. So even that in and of itself is a great reason why we should slow down, because when we slow down, we can take advantage of the upcoming things that we didn't know were going to come up. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see what we got here. We got my man, Mr. Gibb in the building, Big Gibb in the building. Let me get my mouse to work so I can see what my brother's saying. I learned the hard way. I got a cruiser to go fast. I wanted to outrun everybody. Then I learned the real sport of cruising. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, let's make some noise for the one and only CBO Moby in the building, dropping some wisdom on us on this morning. Amen. And you know what I like too, man? I like the fact that we are okay with sharing our experiences, learning from our experiences, and allowing others to hopefully learn as well. Because you know, it's great when you have the wisdom to learn from somebody else's experience or you know, problems or whatever case may be. But nevertheless, learning is what it's all about. So he says, then I learned the real sport of cruising. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, you know, I still playing. I got quite a few miles on my motorcycle, you know, and she's about ready for a spruce up, for a little, you know, maybe an overhaul or something. And if I go into the engine, you know, I might as well, you know, give her a little bit more oomph, if you will, you know what I mean? A little bit more, you know, get up and go, because that does come in place, especially when you're on the interstate and you are cruising. And next thing you know, somebody's barreling down your back. You know, sometimes to be able to just hit that throttle and get on up out the way is definitely a good thing. Or I've had 18-wheelers just move over on you, and you just want to hit it and go, you know. And so yes, we can downshift and kind of get a, you know, a little bit more, you know, grit out of it or whatever. But when you got that big motor on that thing, you can, I mean, you ain't even got downshift. You just give that throttle a little twist and she gonna respond, you know. So I'm not against a little bit of speed, you know, but speeding, how do I want to say this? I'm not against a little bit of speed, but understand the beauty of slowing down. Yeah, understand the beauty of slowing down. So thanks for that comment, Mr. Gibb. I'm going to be in your area today, man. I'm going to be in your area a little bit later on today, man. So not sure what you're up to, man, if you're busy or if you got some time, man. But if you got time for a little guy like you know, like your boy Retro, man, let me know. I'll shoot you a text when I'm going to be in that area, probably around lunchtime. Maybe we grab a burger or a French fry or two, depending on what your schedule is like. I understand you had a nice interview on last night. I'm not going to say anything because it might be an exclusive or whatever. So, but man, shout out to my man, Mo. Yes, sir.
Yo, what up? This is Marvin Gibson, aka Big Gift, and you are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show.
Make some noise for Moby, guys. You can check him out on YouTube. You can check him out on MySpace. You can check him out on Instagram. You can check him out on all social media platforms, guys. And make sure you go over to everywhere where podcasts are being streamed. And check out his podcast, man. Do You Ride? Once again, let's make some noise for Moby Gibson in the building. So, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, as you get ready to get out and ride, man, make sure, you know, safety first and first safety. Make sure you're riding your ride. We're living in a time now, from my observation, where a lot of people are doing a lot of things, but are they doing it for the right reasons? Yeah, are they doing it for the right reasons? So again, ride your ride. If that's not your calling, don't do it. Don't do it. All right, who is ringing my doorbell? Nobody rings my doorbell. I know they're doing some work next door. My neighbor's doing some renovations over there, and I believe that's what it's all about. Got my dog all upset. Can you hear my dog in the background, guys? He actually out there trying to sound like a big dog, like he really, really gonna do something. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short, guys, and get on out the way, see what's going on out here. I got some tracks I gotta make anyway. I want to encourage you, man, to just slow down and enjoy life. Yeah, you know, so often you're rushing through your adolescent years. I can't wait till I get my own apartment. Then you get your own apartment and you just like, good Lord, what was I rushing for? Because this adulting thing, my God, it's serious business, y'all. It's serious business. So enjoy where you are in life right now. I know you're probably saying, well, Retro, you don't understand, but I'm going through some tough stuff. Even as you go through your tough stuff, there's still some things to get while you're there. There's still some beauty to acquire while you're there. There's still some hope that you can get while you're going through the difficult moments. All right? It's your boy Retro, man. We love you with the love of God, man. I hope you have yourselves a great day, because guess what? That's what it was meant for. Yeah. He didn't wake you up this morning so that you could, be defeated. He woke you up this morning so that you could thrive and so that you can be more than a conqueror. God bless you guys. We'll see you on the next go round.
So you're a philosopher? Yes.
Good evening, good morning, good night, good day. It's your boy Retro. Thank you for pressing play.
When you're riding and you get a call from your homie saying, yo, what you up to, where you at? Where's your location? I'm on the bike. And he said, yo, stay put, I'm coming to meet you, I'm on my bike. That's what I'm talking about, man. We out here getting miles and smiles.
Retro!
What's going on with you, man?